Hello out there, all you wonderful seekers. My name's Samantha, and this is the Sage Witch Mooncast. Thank you all for joining me today and being ever so patient while I gave my body the time it needed to recover from my terrible cold. You have probably noticed, even as a witch, I don't talk a lot about actual spell work. And today, I'm going to tell you why. I feel, firstly, that there's too much emphasis on the physical act of the spell, as opposed to the reason we do spells in the first place. I see it very often, claims of fix your life with this spell. Now, don't get me wrong, spellcraft can do wonderful things for you, but as I've said in previous podcasts, it just can't do all the heavy lifting. Spell work is like having the wind at your back, gently pushing you forward, but it's not going to take the first step for you. It can make things easier and more attainable, and it can give you momentum. But the real power comes from knowing yourself, from knowing your self-worth. Having the confidence and strength to set boundaries with someone will serve you far better than a binding or a curse. And I think that is why I spend so much time talking about self-improvement or philosophy or different forms of wellness, is because, in my opinion, well witches do well spells. That's also why I spend so much time talking about eco-friendly witch options, is because it's very common in our modern climate to want to have the aesthetic of the altar and the spell components, when our spell work is so much more than what you see. And that is why I spend so much time talking about nature and how to better connect to nature, because that is the root of all my magic for myself, and I want to share it with you. Another reason I don't share much in the way of spell work is spell work is subjective, no matter what anyone says. What one stone or plant means to another is different than what it means to me. Perhaps I've not shared that much on those things because I did not want to invite confrontation, as social media is apt to do. So, I here and now make the proclamation: my interpretations of energies, herbs, stones, and the workings of the universe are my own, and I do not require anyone to believe what I believe. I suppose one more reason I don't share a lot of actual spells is because I feel it is more important to understand how things work, as opposed to having rigid spell outlines. For example, let's say you want to do a spell for love. Instead of looking up an already made love spell, why not make your own? Spell books are for more than copying down spells you have read somewhere else. They're also for you to record your personal spells that you create. So if you're going to do that, you might first think about what colors are associated with love? What plants are herbs? I'm willing to bet most of us would think of the colors pink or red, as well as maybe roses, as things associated with love. Of course, it depends upon the kind of love you're wishing to manifest. And on a side note, knowing and understanding how color works is very important in witchcraft. Each color vibrates at a different frequency, and those frequencies are aligned with different kinds of manifestations. For example, green for abundance, purple for wisdom and divination, blue for healing, and so on. But I digress. Now that you know what colors in plants align with your intent, you can choose stones to complement your spell by their color. There are always historical and mythological aspects to consider with plants and stones, but choosing them based on color is usually a safe choice. So you might choose rose quartz or another pink stone for your spell. When in doubt, clear quartz or any white or clear stone is a good stand-in for any color stone, as they encompass all the different waves or colors of light. It is through your intention that you consecrate that quartz for your need. From there, you can further fine-tune what it is you want your spell to do. Do you want to have an amulet of protection hanging in your home? Are you wishing to banish something? These are all things to consider when writing your own spell. And I will go over the actual nitty-gritty of spell writing, but that isn't exactly the topic for today, so let's move on. I know spell work is one of the main reasons people, witches, seek out other witches. And it is said that you cannot truly master something unless you can teach another to do it. And there is definitely some truth to that. When I began this journey, I wasn't sure how or even what I was going to share. But over the last few years, I've come to a place where I feel comfortable sharing what knowledge and wisdom I have gained. So I want to thank every one of you for coming along on this journey with me and spending your precious time listening to what I have to say. I'm thinking in the near future, I will be doing a series of, although maybe shorter podcasts, a series of podcasts that will tell you how to create spells from start to finish. That's everything from how to choose herbs, how to choose stones, different kinds of spells, and so on. I also have a few more fun things going on. I'm trying to put together seasonal vlogs of my life that I will be sharing on my Buy Me a Coffee page, where when I get the premium membership set up, you'll be able to have access to that. And in the spirit of spring cleaning, as soon as I get everything together, it's a bit of a work in progress, I will be having a kind of witchy yard sale online. I'm thinking it's probably going to be through the Facebook Marketplace. If you don't follow me on Facebook, head on over to Facebook under the Sage Witch and give me a follow. So I suppose that is all I have for today. And I really look forward to really diving into the depths of witchcraft in the future with you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have the kindest of all seasons.